Hello everybody and welcome to another London bus restoration video from Routemaster for Hire. This is RM471 and she's been on a 10-day long hire for a book reading event in Liverpool. Now during that event we lost the platform edging, a little bit of beading that runs underneath the platform here. Now the reason why it came off is because the wood that it attaches to under here is completely rotten. Now there's not a lot of wood in a Routemaster, but where there is wood it tends to rot, and this is a third platform edging we've had to replace in as many years, because under here, just behind the back wheels, this is where all the rot tends to happen. So in this video today we're going to replace this platform edging, and there's another reason why I wanted to replace the platform edging. Keep watching, you'll find out why. So why was I going to change the platform edging on this bus even before that beading strip fell off? Well, the reason is that the platform edging on this bus is what they call shark's tooth. This yellow and black edging is absolutely disgusting. Now this was a modification that they made on these buses in the 90s. And if you're a regular viewer to the channel, you'll know all of my buses, all the buses here, are restored back to how they were in the 1960s, apart from Alan's, who has the 80s livery on his bus. So in the 60s when these buses were built, this platform edging wasn't what they call shark's tooth, it was just plain white. Now I've had some more platform edging made, so I'm going to take the opportunity to replace the beading that fell off, to replace the rotten wood underneath, and while we're doing that, we're going to put the proper white edged edging back on this bus. Now the first job is to unscrew these screws here that hold this corner beading in place. Now I think this is probably good enough to be saved, so we're going to take this off carefully. Once this is off, we can take all this horrible shark's tooth platform edging off the bus and get to the wood and replace it. Now that screw hasn't seen the light of day for probably 30 years.
Ah, that's got it. Nice.
And there it is. One bit of beading that can be saved and put back on the bus. Needs a little bit of work, but we'll get that back on.
It's a little bit rotten.
Someone's riveted that one, haven't they? That's a rivet.
Yeah. You're not using this again, are you? You got that? Oh. Use that. This is supposed to be wood, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not. Somebody's put fucking metal in.
Right, well, while Alan is banging away to get the edging off, we've discovered something we've never seen before. This is metal. Someone's put a metal strip along here, and as you can see, it's the metal that's completely rotted. So how are we going to repair this now with wood? I don't know. Bloody horrible shark's tooth, you are no more. Right, so we are 1 hour or so into this project and already we've hit a problem. I thought it was a bit funny when we're taking this horrible platform edging off as to why I could see rivets sticking out. Well, the reason why whoever put this platform together previously used rivets is because instead of using wood on the platform edging, they've used metal, and it's this metal that's gone all rotten. So that's why they use rivets to hold the Treadmaster in place. Now what you should have here, and what I was expecting to see, was rotten wood. Now this is the new stuff that we were going to have fitted. I think that one goes there, this one goes here, and that end one sits there. Now these have already been pre-cut and made by our good friend Rob Duker down in Cambridgeshire. He carries these in stock. So it should have been just a case of taking the old edging off, taking the rotten wood off, bolting the new ones on and putting the new platform edging on. Could have done it in a day, but now this is going to take a lot longer because to get these rotten, or this rotten metal channel off the bus, we're going to have to lift the bus up in the air because it's bolted on. We can't get to the heads of the bolts because they are inside here. So of course they're just spinning. So we're going to have to lift the bus up, and this job that, as I said, should have been a day is now going to take a few days. Okay, it is now day 2 of the platform repair here on RM471. Now when we left yesterday and when we finished filming, the metal strip was still on the bus. We've come in this morning and it's on the floor. But how did it get here? Well, here is the metal strip removed from the bus, and I think I know what's happened. I had a telephone conversation with Tim last night. He's been on nights this week, so he's come in early this morning and removed it for me, which was very kind of him, but one, he didn't film it, and two, I'm not sure how he did remove it, but he has left some clues. One of those, and one of those. Now these weren't on the platform when we left last night, so I can only assume he removed that metal bar with care and precision. Okay, now we've cleaned up Tim's mess. Thanks, Tim, by the way. We're going to clean all this area up. It all needs sanding down. We've got some bolts that need cutting off, and then we've got to pop the rivets that hold the aluminium plate in underneath here so we can get to the inside of this channel in order to do the nuts and bolts up when we put the new wood on. So, busy day, but we're getting there. Hey?
Is it a bit blunt?
This is knackered, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. One knackered angle grinder.
Good job, we've got a second one then.
It's hot as well, you can feel it warm.
Yeah. I'll plug that in.
Right, so our battery powered angle grinder is cream crackered. Let's see if we can use the electric one.
Here we grind the bolts, take 2.
That's better.
So whilst Dave's gone off to make a cup of tea, it's my job now to sand all this lot down and to clean this platform up.
Right, now if you're familiar with Routemasters, you're probably looking at this video thinking, what are these two big holes on the platform? Well, Mr. Jones did some research and we found out that some twat decided to put some doors on the back of this bus when it was in Birmingham. Didn't you, Alan?
I did, indeed, yeah. After leaving LT, it went up to Scotland, spent a few years up in Scotland with Kelvin Scottish. He left them and went to a company called...
Don't mention them because I just called them twats.
Called Twats.
In Birmingham.
In Birmingham. Who put a mock-style RMC rear layout on it with platform doors. The back of the bus came to about here and it had a set of air doors there.
So these huge great holes that have been drilled into the platform were obviously the hinges for the doors. They've obviously cut the platform off here. Or was it that way round?
No,
I don't know.
Not.
So we've got to somehow get that back on. So it's just one big bodge that we've now got to repair. Thanks. Right, so that is the sanding done. Now the next job is to pop the rivets that hold the panel on underneath. Now I'm going to try and do that with the bus in position, but if I can't get the drill in far enough, we might have to lift the bus on the ramps. But to do that, we've got to get this bus outside. 1214 is over there, that needs to be moved out the way. Then we've got to get the ramps out, then we've got to bring this back in and lift it up on the ramps. There's a whole load of shunting around to do if we need to lift this bus up in the air. So hopefully with the drill and me laying on the floor, we can pop the rivets without moving the bus. But I'll tell you what first, we're going to have a cup of tea. Ooh, think we'll be okay. Don't need to jack it up, get the drill bit in there. Put these on first. I feel a bit vulnerable.
Oh. Fancy helping me with a little job, he says. Fucking tosser.
Right, let me explain to you then why this job that should have taken us half a day has now turned into a complete nightmare. First of all, when you take the platform edging off, you expose the wood that sits on the platform like this. Now, if the platform edging is rotten, the chances are the wood is rotten as well. And that's why we got this supply from our good friend Rob Duker down in Cambridgeshire, because we knew that when we did this job, the chances are the wood was going to be rotten. However, as you know, when we took the platform edging off, instead of wood sitting here, we found a steel beam. And the reason why that steel beam was put in there was because those twats in Birmingham decided to put doors on the back of this bus. That's why this platform has got all these massive great holes drilled into it. And that's also why on the edging here, where the metal beam was, it's absolutely corroded and reacted with the aluminium edging here. So we've got big holes now, so we can't put the bolts back into this new bit of wood because there's nowhere for them to go, apart from a big hole. Now, normally when you do this job, when you take the rotten wood off, you only have to unbolt it, okay? You don't need to find the nuts. You don't have to undo the aluminium panels that we've done underneath, because those bolts are held into place by one of these brackets, and they just fix on the inside of this channel here. But of course, because that's all rotten, they've all fallen out. So we've got to find another way of securing this wood to the aluminium edging of the platform. I think what we're going to need to do is drill some extra holes in this wood. We shouldn't need to do that. It should just line up. In fact, it does line up exactly, but it's just lining up with a bloody big hole now. So that's why this job has turned into a complete and utter nightmare. It should be quite straightforward. It should have been quite straightforward, but it's not. And we're going to have to work out how we're going to secure this wood now to the outside edge of this platform. And until we've done that, then of course we can't put the platform edging back on. What a bloody nightmare. Right, I'm just going to try and put this wood on now just to see how it lines up. We're not going to do it up because what have we got? I've got 3 out of the 4 holes on this first bit of wood, so that might be enough. Right, that's the first one on. That's got 3 out of 4 of the bolts in, so that's all right. This is the tricky one though. It's not really a 2-man job, this.
Yeah. That's why I'm staying out of the way. We're just watching it.
Observant.
Observe it. Making sure it's a job well done.
Tell you what we can do, you can hold that for me. Just hold the end now. That's it. There's a channel that runs that way.
Yeah.
And it's like...
The main frame.
Yeah.
Why is this one drooping your side?
Don't know. It's because of that big hole.
Yeah. And so there we go, there's the 3 brand new pieces of ash in situ. We haven't tightened everything up yet, we've just put it in finger tight at the moment just to see how it looks. It's going to need some adjustment, of course, as you can see on the rear corner here. It doesn't quite fit flush, and the reason is this rear cross member is actually bent, because at some point in its life this bus has actually reversed into something and it's caused the rear cross member to bend forward slightly. But that'll be sorted out in due course before we fit the Treadmaster. But so far so good.
Right, so these are the new corner panels. Let's put them on and see how they line up, shall we? There's your end bit.
And that is how it will look when it is in place, after a few adjustments.
It's not that bad actually, it's not far out, is it?
Yeah. Well, it actually fits quite nice, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there, isn't there? That's
Yeah.
I think that's that more than the...
Yeah. That needs trimming a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you could probably get away with cutting that off altogether, actually, because that was...
Just put it over it. Oh, it won't go in
It
anymore.
won't go anymore.
Yeah.
That was a drain back
Yeah.
in the day, so...
This is a lot higher up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because that's not sitting square on it.
Yeah, so there's adjustment that we need to make, and it's all because of the wood underneath. But
If you put it like that, though, that sits better. It's right up to the mat there.
yeah, see this gap here.
Yeah. It's just this wood that's going to have to be trimmed a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're not far out, so that's good news. We just need to work out how we're going to secure the wood a little bit better. The front bit's okay. I've got 3 out of the 4 bolts on, so I'm happy with that. There's only 2 bolts holding this one on, and we've got 3 on the back, haven't
All
we?
3, yeah. All
So
3.
I'm happy with that as well. We just need to work out what we're going to do with this and just make some adjustments. But we're not far out. Despite the earlier bodges from other people, we are getting there now. Right, okay, we're back for another day on the platform of RM471. Timothy's back with us today, and we have got a plan to fix this bodge, don't we, Tim?
I think so, yes. Just a bit.
What are we going to do?
I'm not too sure. What should we do?
Shall we have a cup of tea and think
We'll
about
have
it?
a cup of tea.
Yeah, all right, we'll have a cup of tea first. Okay, we've had our cup of tea, we've formulated a plan. The back piece of wood that Tim's putting on now, we can get all the nuts and bolts on there, so that's going back on the bus, happy days. The next piece of wood that Alan's got here, we are going to have to drill another hole in that piece of wood because the holes that line up, as we explained earlier, the holes actually on the aluminium part of the bus are just too big, so that's going to need a new hole. And then finally, the bit of wood that runs along the back of the bus, where the bus has had that accident damage in the past, we're going to have to adjust that piece of wood with the bandsaw and try and make it fit a little bit better. Then when we've done all that, hopefully the platform edging will fit nicely on the bus. We can glue it all down and this job will be done. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this video, please share the love, hit that like button and give us that thumbs up. And if you've got any comments or suggestions or questions, please put them in the box below. Oh, and if you've not done so already, please subscribe as well. Thank you. Well, this is looking so much better now. Happy with that. Just this end bit now, and we're done. How level is that at the bottom?
It's not fair. It's too long anyway. It needs, when we put the thing on, it wants trimming all the way in.
Right. We're happy with that? We're going to glue it?
Yeah, we'll glue it.
We're going to glue it. We're going to glue it. Here's the glue and the hardener. Let's go and mix it on the bench.
The reason we haven't painted the platform is because the glue reacts with it and it pulls all the paint up. Plus the glue acts as a pretty good sealer anyway.
This glue smells good. Whew. Have you got it?
Yeah. You got your end?
Yeah.
You in the right place?
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll look weird seeing this with a white platform, eh?
That's what I said.
Gonna look better though, innit? And that bloody shark's tooth crap. Whoever thought that was a good idea to put shark's tooth on the edge of this?
It's because it's yellow, isn't it? High-vis.
So the weights have gone on now, just to weigh the platform edging down while it dries. I think while we're waiting for it to dry, we're going to have another cup of tea, and then this platform edging will be well and truly ready for another million pairs of feet.
It's handy that strip stuff, isn't it?
I know. I think Dave can buy my sandwich. £30 a length.
Oh, you can still buy this, can you?
Depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd you get this from, Tim? FWB?
No, it's you have to order it from Simmels of Bamber Bridge.
Oh.
Okay, we're nearly there. Light at the end of the tunnel. Couple more jobs to do. First job is to put this nicely painted beading strip underneath the platform edging, and then when I've done that, it's just a case of trimming the Treadmaster to match the bottom of the beading. So we're nearly there, at long last. So I've got my my drill here. Going to make some pilot holes, and then with slotted screws, going to secure the beading strip. through the Treadmaster and into that new wood. That's the first one in. It's always the hardest one to do. You know I keep going on about it, and I don't want to sound like a stuck record, but this has taken far too long. This should have taken a day, at the most. This is now day 4. 3 days longer than it should have done. It's cost me an angle grinder, Alan calling me a tosser, an effing tosser, and 3 days of my life I'll never get back. And all because some twat put a metal bar there when it should have been wood. I'm going to stop moaning now and crack on. Right, 5 more screws around the end bit, and we are just about done. As you can see, the white edging looks so much nicer than that shark's tooth stuff we took off. That shark's tooth was a 90s modernisation that someone somewhere in an office in London decided a white edging wasn't good enough, it wasn't safe enough, so we replaced all the white edging with shark's tooth, black and yellow. These buses had been in service for 40 years with white platform edging. Millions of people have travelled on each and every single bus without having an accident, and yet some suit somewhere who probably never travelled on a bus in his or her life suddenly decided a white platform edge is not safe enough, we've got to have black and yellow. What a twat. They also did a similar thing on the inside of the buses as well. The stainless steel poles, oh no, not good enough, let's paint them yellow. Right, 2 more screws and we are virtually there. After this is on, all we've got to do is just get a sharp knife and just trim the bottom of the Treadmaster, and then we can put this job to bed. Remember, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us that thumbs up, hit that like button. If you've not enjoyed it, and if you have not enjoyed it, why are you still watching? But if you haven't enjoyed it, you can hit the dislike button, but you've got to hit that twice, remember. And if you're new here and you've not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. We put a new video out every 2 weeks. Oh, and don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, so you don't miss any future episodes. Last one. So from me, Tim and Alan, thank you for watching. The outtakes are on the way next, and I know you like them. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Do you want me to jack it up a bit?
No. I want you to be quiet.
That's what it looks like.
Get your ass off the camera.
Coach, come here. Good girl.
Right, we've had a cup of tea and we've come up with a plan. We're going to... It could be worse, it could be Captain Pugwash. Look at these 2 twats over there. Okay, so we've had a cup of tea and we do actually have a plan. Can't you find the hole down there, Tim? Tim's down there, he can't find the hole. There's a lot of firtling going on down there, but he can't find the hole.
There we go.
Oh, he's found the hole. It's in. Have you got it in?
Yeah.
On the bus. We can glue it all down and this job will be done.
In other words, we're trying to bodge up an already bodged bus.
It's a bit of a bodge.
It's a fucking bodge up, isn't it?
We haven't done that yet because we're just waiting for the paint to dry. And as you can see...
Fancy helping me with a little job, he says. Fucking tosser.
That's the last screw. This pain in the arse, godforsaken, awful fucking job is done. I'm going to the pub. Good night.